Mute is off. Okay. And we're going to go in 3, 2, 1, and... Hi, welcome to G3. You found us, I hope again, but if for the first time, welcome to G3. We're also known as the Gillmor Girls Gang. That's the G3 part of it. And let's see, this is episode number 54. The date is September. It's the first show in September. September 4th, 2015. And I'm your host, Tina Chase Gillmor. I was going to say hostess, but I'm not sure that, I don't know. Do I like that word, Francine? Do I like the word hostess? Hi, Francine Hardaway.
Hostess?
Yeah.
Sure, you love the word hostess.
I do?
Yes, because it shows your characteristics, your welcoming characteristics. Should you be calling yourself host? Is that the question you were asking?
Yeah, am I a host or a hostess?
You don't look like a host to me, honey.
Okay. Hello, Rebecca Woodcock. Hi, Rebecca.
Hello, Tina.
Am I a host or a hostess? Or do I care?
I don't know.
What would you prefer? If someone comes to your home or there's an invitation or something and, host or hostess?
I probably would just say host. I mean, I don't really see it as
host. Hi, Mary. Oh, my goodness. Mary Hodder. Mary Hodder is looking slightly different today.
Mary Hodder has her Burning Man suit on.
Oh, Mary Hodder is not in Burning Man at the moment, but she is in Mountain View, California, and you are just back from Burning Man.
Just back from Burning Man.
Okay, I can't hear the volume, so we're going to turn that up a little bit in the studio.
And in the meantime, I get to ask my question. Has Burning Man jumped as far over the shark as I think it has?
Hang on. We're going to get there because
I'm there.
I need to do, I know you're there, but I'm not. Okay, I'm not. So a little housekeeping. We've got a Facebook page, and that we're at facebook.com/G3show. And if you are joining along today live, you can join our chat center, chat.center/G3.
And I'm in there.
And Francine's in there right now, and maybe we're all in there. So we might be. But you can join, you can ask questions, you can, follow the bouncing ball. Okay. So here we go. What's going on? Mary is just back from Burning. Now we can get to it. Mary's back from Burning Man. Mary, what is Burning Man? Why do you go? Go ahead, Rebecca.
Well, what is Burning Man? It's a festival that right now currently has 70,000 paid ticket goers, plus another, 5,000 staff who are there. And it's an arts festival in the desert, and people run around in crazy clothing. Hence my Moroccan headdress, and they have glasses with shielding for the dust, and you often wear a dust mask, and it's very harsh environment in Black Rock City.
Okay, and you know what? I'm going to let you have your headdress on, but you're going to have to move it from your microphone because it's banging.
How's that?
Is
it banging?
Yeah.
All right. I might also be able to fix our microphone situation while I'm in between the next chat or whatever.
Mary,
anyway,
why do you go if it's what you say it is?
Okay, so my 9th trip in 11 years or 12 years. So basically, I go partly because we have a great camp. We have an art camp, and there's a lot of stuff that our camp has always done. The first 4 or 5 years that I went, actually, Sergey and for some period Larry were in our camp. It used to be smaller and more intimate, and I have to say the first year you go, it blows your mind. The second year you go, you say, oh my God, it really was true. It was mind-blowing. Like you confirm it. After that, there's a dissipation. And I have to say that after 9 times, I'm probably done. And here's why. As it grows, of course, the percentage has stayed the same. I think it's probably 50% of people who are maybe a little bit, unsavory, or they're takers, not givers. It's supposed to be a festival about, the gift economy. You can't buy anything except ice and coffee from the org. But there's some things that, as it gets bigger, it only takes one guy to ruin like a neighborhood in the city, and make it so that nobody can sleep, for example. And that happened to us for the few nights we were there. And it gets tiresome. You get these kind of, jerky people, and it's, and they get better and better equipment to just be obnoxious. And so when the newness wears off, right? So all your enthusiasm is dissipated a bit. You have less enthusiasm for that stuff. So I frankly think we'll probably just do something else, but in the future. But it still is very fun. The art is really cool, and I honestly, my opinion at this point is go twice. That is the optimal experience, and then go do something else.
I think it's like Mark Zuckerberg, though. He flew in for a day on a helicopter. That's my type of way to go.
Zoom in, zoom out.
Exactly.
Well, I think you're 2 times and you're done is kind of like the rule of drinking, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like 2 drinks and you're done.
Right. When you've had 9, you've had too much.
That's right.
Exactly.
We were next to a plug-and-play camp. And so the new thing that has happened the last few years is they call it like the billionaires camp or the plug-and-play camps. That's where people pay 20 or 25K a person. And Sherpas come in and they set up these expensive, tent. Some people are in really luxury tents. Other people are in luxury trailers. Other people are in luxury shipping containers with air conditioning.
Glamping. It's glamping.
Glamping. And now I don't actually have a problem with that piece, but we chatted with a guy in placement who came over to our camp because we were right at the rear of a plug-and-play camp that lied on their application. They said they were a theme camp. What that means is you're a theme, you have some public spaces, and people come into your camp and they enjoy. You giving economy. You give away the theme. So they had a music venue, and they, but here's the thing. Music's supposed to be in a certain area of the city. Plug and play camps are supposed to be in a certain area, because when you camp yourself, you're very cautious with water because you have to pack everything out. These people were using thousands of gallons a day because they were just taking showers. They didn't have porta potties. They had full on bathrooms brought in. Their chefs were using tons of water. And so every day they would have 15 to 20 trucks driving in right next to our eating area. It was totally obnoxious. And so the placement people came and talked to us, and they said, look, these people, so the owner of the camp, who I estimate is taking in a gross of $2 million and probably making $500,000 on the week. He is the owner of L'Hermitage in Santa Monica, which is a very nice boutique hotel. Yeah.
Right.
And so he decided to do this. It's his second year. And, but because he did that, because he lied, he's probably going to be denied in the future. But there was one interesting thing, which I really agree with the org about. So I don't mind so much that people are paying to have.
The org sounds like the Borg.
Oh, the org, the burningman.org is what it is. It's a nonprofit. So they call it the org. And so I agree with the guy from placement about this. When they have all those Sherpas, the people that do the work, and they don't participate in Burning Man, that's 50 or 100 tickets that are not going to people actually camping for themselves, because you have to buy tickets for your workers. That's not part of the org workers, the 5,000 that are outside of the 70 that BLM limits the size of the event to. So they make a very good point. When you're paying other people to do your stuff, you're taking tickets away from people who really want to see the arts festival and participate. And it's a participatory event. So the problem I agree with them. The problem isn't the 25K. The problem isn't the profit that this guy's making, although that's really against the Burning Man value
it's excluding some other people who would have
It's excluding the me's who would like to go once.
Yeah, and it's really tough to get a ticket. We tried in all that there were like 8 different tranches that they released from January to the beginning of August. We couldn't get into any of them. It means that guy Stefan managed to get 50 or 100 tickets outside of that somehow through that system, and he took tickets away from people who would be really doing it right, in my view. So that I think
well,
that's
those tickets are on StubHub, so it's very simple. If you have enough money, you can buy them.
But the whole point is it's $380 to go for a normal regular ticket. And so paying $1,500 on StubHub is to me very uncool.
Well, of course, that whole thing is very uncool. But a festival of that size is inherently very uncool because you do have people like that, and that does happen. That's just how it goes when something like Burning Man shouldn't scale.
Well, yeah, you're right. And frankly, if they did limit it to people who would totally embody the 10 values, who've been there before, plus noobs, that would actually be a great event, because then you could always cycle through the noob people and have them go one or two or three times and then kind of cycle through, and you'd give everyone a chance to go.
So but if Burning Man need term limits?
Yes, exactly. And frankly, I've termed out.
Yeah. Rebecca, have you ever been to Burning Man?
I have never been to Burning Man.
Are you ever going to go?
I don't think so. It honestly sounds like too much effort for something that I'm not even sure that I'd be into. So
yeah,
it just doesn't really motivate me to go. And honestly, I mean, I'm hearing Mary talk about it. And, if I have even these luxury camps, if I have $25K to spend, I'm sure as hell not spending it at Burning Man. I'm going somewhere way better.
I know. Wouldn't you like to go to Machu Picchu? Or,
yeah, exactly.
And here's why I'm not going. One word.
Steve.
Camping.
Wait,
Camping.
what?
That's it.
Hello.
Say it again. Camping?
Camping.
Yeah. You can bring a motorhome, and it's very nice. I mean, we have a couple of motorhomes in our group, and actually you really want them. And here's why. If you have a dust storm and you have to go hole up for 12 or 24 hours, everyone climbs into the motorhome, and you have air conditioning, and it makes it, and it's nice.
And that's the other thing. I don't do dust storms. Dust storms,
that's why
camping, that's it. I don't need to go.
Yesterday we had 2 dust storms. We have a dust storm a day at this time of year.
Yeah.
Why would I go somewhere else to go to another dust storm?
Yeah,
exactly.
Francine, you need to move. You need to move out of Arizona. Too much dust.
But you know what? In the winter, it's so beautiful, and we're almost there. It's cooler today, and it's cooling off, and then it gets gorgeous. And if you could live the way I live in a 2,200 square foot house with a half-acre backyard, and you can see it in the background. It's just a really beautiful living space, and for which I pay $1,500 a month. I'm not going to get that in San Francisco, and I'm unwilling to give up my quality of life.
You're right about that. Okay, so
the other thing is, I have a hard enough time sleeping as it is without all these people making all noise.
Without people dancing.
Exactly. And now there's trucks and everything. So, and people tell me, well, you don't go there to sleep. People are partying and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I lived in Greece when I was 19. I did that already.
Ooh,
I don't need to be doing that at my age. I am over that. So all you freaks who never did that when you were young, and need to get it out now, go ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm over it. I don't need to party like that. I just want to have a better experience that doesn't include partying. I know there's more about that, but that's the answer that I get when I say I have a hard time sleeping. And
I feel like I can just live vicariously through friends like Mary, who will occasionally go. But this may be Mary's last stand. Yeah. So
the only thing that I miss out on, I think, is I love costumes. I mean, anybody who knows me around Halloween knows that I love to get dressed up. I love to spend time dressing up in different, something else. Yeah. And that's fun. And so I love seeing the creativity that people have and what they do. And of course, Mary, you're representing right now.
But look, hey,
I feel like I should get one of my costumes.
There's something compelling. There's something compelling about this, though, isn't it? There's something compelling about community coming together in the flesh, being there. Do we need this? Something like a Burning Man for the tech industry. I mean, I know a lot of tech industry people go there, but it's not a tech industry event. Do we need?
We have South by Southwest.
Yeah. So
we have plenty of big events that have jumped the shark. We don't need any more. We need smaller events.
Speaking
you look
of
adorable.
Sharks, what is
Rebecca, you look adorable.
Rebecca, you're the cutest damn shark I've ever seen.
Is that what you are? A shark?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I got it.
Burning Man and shark, jumping the shark. I don't know.
Hey,
so
hey
do
guys.
you remember? Hang on. Do you remember the Saturday Night Live first few seasons? What is it? Candygram. That would be when the shark would come to the door and eat whoever opened the door. Okay. Well, I guess you don't remember that.
I go to bed
That's
at
okay.
9 o'clock.
Tina. Yeah, but you didn't go to bed at 9 o'clock in the 70s, Francine.
I did.
You did. Okay.
Okay. So I had children in the 70s. I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I ran 50 miles a week in the 70s.
Well,
you can't even talk about the 70s.
You're freaking superwoman.
Let me just say that as a third grader in the 70s, and we could watch one half-an-hour show per day that we got to pick. I picked Happy Days on Tuesday nights from 8:30 to 9. It's 9 o'clock.
Okay, I've got your beads hitting that thing again.
I picked my show was Happy Days from 8:30 to 9 because my bedtime was 9. So all I have to say is if your bedtime was 9, you could still watch it.
Sunday, Monday, Happy Days. Okay.
But the whole jumping the shark thing came from Fonzie, and actually I'm trying to find a picture right now. There was a sculpture that somebody made with a ski jump for and there's a shark and there's a Fonzie jacket, and I took a picture for you, Francine.
It came from that? Really?
Yeah, that was jumping the shark came from that. And the interesting thing is, if you look up on Wikipedia, they talk about how the jumping the shark as a name or a meme or a label, in some ways wasn't really fair, because after the show ran, it was like one of their highest rated episodes. They had 30 million people watch it, and then they had even more customers or watchers watching it, and they made more money. So it depends on your definition of jumping the shark. But in terms of popularity, it was very popular. Same thing with Burning Man. But in that sense, there is a comparison, because, Burning Man becomes ever more popular. There's ever more money to be made. The org is making a lot of money. They're a nonprofit, but they have, get this, it's very Dutch sandwich-esque. So the Dutch sandwich is where tech companies in Silicon Valley put their IP company, their intellectual property company, into Ireland, who then, so any profits they make here, they send to Ireland. Then they don't make any money to be taxed in the U.S. Then the Irish company sends it to Amsterdam, who then sends it to the Cayman Islands, i.e. Dutch sandwich. All right, so here's what the org is doing.
Ooh,
they made an intellectual property for-profit company, and the original founders of Burning Man own it, and the extra, they pay fees, millions of dollars, like $7 million a year or so, over to the intellectual property company, and that's split between the founders of Burning Man. And I get, in Silicon Valley terms, that's not billions, it's not like they're Mark Zuckerberg, but it is a little obnoxious that we're all spending, I would say, an extra $100 in our ticket, our $380, to basically pay the founders of a festival that's really about it wouldn't be anything if the people didn't show up. Right?
And it's also based on this
Welcome
gifting
to why
idea,
I don't blog
sharing,
for Huffington
right?
Post anymore. Exactly why I stopped blogging for Huffington Post.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a similar kind of model. It's a little obnoxious. And I have to say, I'm not that crazy about that piece of it either.
Okay, I have to ask something. Our cute land shark here, thank you, Christina Spinelli, for pointing that out. Please raise your cup one more time so we can see that logo. Ah, okay, so this was a cool Google logo I've never seen, but it reminds me that
Google
logo just changed. No longer with the, what is that? The funny G.
I think it looks like Romper Room meets marketing department.
This is like the female version of Google.
Yes, that's the right. And then
but I have to tell you that this absurd change of logo, which, most of the people who use Google is probably not even noticeable, it has created a firestorm of criticism on all the social media platforms about and this is always a big topic when some logo changes, serifs versus sans serif, and which one is more modern, nicer, easier to read, more appropriate, more in the spirit of Google, and whatever. I wish we had a designer on this podcast today.
Why the big upset about talking about a logo change? Do we not feel that sometimes a logo change, it's not just that the logo is changing, it's also that things are changing, right, at Google. So it kind of marks the time, right? Like a milestone. Like here is a turning point. And at a turning point, our logo's also changing to reflect our turning point.
So it's a metaphor.
Well,
a very underwhelming metaphor, in my opinion. I mean,
well,
they could have,
like
if they're going to do it.
Hang on. Yeah, what did you think about the logo itself, Rebecca? You don't care.
I thought it was like really boring, actually. And I thought if you're going to go through all that effort, because it actually is a lot of effort to change a logo, especially at the size of a company of Google, where you have to change the logo on every single thing, from favicon to every property to everything you're working on. I mean, if you're going to make a statement, make a statement. And that was such a lame, boring statement, in my opinion. I don't know. They could have done a bigger, better job.
No, they made a statement. The statement was, we're Alphabet.
It looks like Romper Room. To me, it looks like Romper Room meets the marketing department. To me, it looks like Romper Room meets the marketing department.
Oh, it's Alphabet. It's like, that's what it's supposed to look like.
Hang on. Let's hear Mary.
Well, but the thing is, the marketing piece is what Tina and you guys just talked about, which is the really boring, like, we're so sanitized that we're not going to offend anyone on the planet, and how completely, lacking in point of view it is. At least the old one had a point of view, and it was distinctive. To me, this just looks like, like little Romper Room kind of, where's my Romper Room cup with Google on it, and then it's totally sanitized. It's just boring.
Well,
I agree
here,
with Rebecca.
One thing that I imagine is that what we're seeing more use of the four colors, the four dots creating the G that we're going to see a lot more of, I think, and I think also the simplification of the logo in a very sort of neutral font is easily you can easily redo it. You can what's the word I'm looking for?
You mean like they can do those things like on the holidays? They can change it like they used to change the old one.
You can replicate it easily, right? So it's not like, one of the letters is really big. In the Yahoo, the new Yahoo logo where you've got an O that's bigger at the end and the O that's next to it is smaller. It's a little harder to replicate that. The Google logo is really, really simple. So, I think it's just this simplification, maybe oversimplification that they kind of want to, you to sort of marry these ideas of, Google is simplifying a little bit. And I also see that rounder, the rounder letters, they just sort of work together better. So I kind of like it. And we went, actually, the thing that I was sort of curious about is we saw a logo change, I believe, 2 years ago with Google, where they took the three-dimensionality out of the logo and made it flatter. So, I understood that because 3D letters are super hard to replicate.
Well, it's also very 2012. That was in all the Web 2.0 style and texturized, and since then it's become all about flat and monochromatic to some extent.
Material design. It's called material design, and we've
but
all gotten.
I feel like they're following that trend too late. I mean, they're already 3 years behind that trend, so it's not really, even then, it's not really making that big of a
they
statement.
did it on Android. Before they did it on their logo, they did it on the Android, operating system user interface. So it's just coming to the Google logo. But my thought process, Tina, is that they're trying to still look childlike and exploratory and not a Microsoft. They're trying to say we might be 17 years old, but we're not.
Still fun.
Yes, we're still fun. We're still innovative. We're still, and also their name. I bet some logo designer got paid a shitload of money for telling them that this combined the alphabet notion of their name with the quirkiness that was the old Google with the, you know what I mean? That type of shit, design shit.
We haven't seen anything, any alphabet branding yet, have we?
No, I haven't.
No. So who knows? Maybe alphabet's going to sort of mesh with this a little bit too. Maybe it's over. There's an umbrella here. So we'll see. But I thought it was interesting that people were so peeved that people were talking about it. It's like, didn't we talked about when, Yahoo changed, we were curious about that. When Airbnb changed their logo and made it look like a vagina, we were kind of all interested in that.
I thought it was breasts. No, it wasn't breasts. It was a vagina.
I don't know. It was either
breasts
it was
or
some
vagina.
female body part that everyone, What was that?
I thought it was a vagina too.
You thought it was a vagina. Okay.
Breasts, whatever. There were all sorts of things.
There were all sorts of potential there.
It depends how you held it, how you looked at it.
Exactly.
Isn't that the truth? Okay. So
Apple
999. Next week we've got an Apple event coming up.
Apple. We're going to get Apple TV, and it's supposed to be fab. It's not the TV company, it's not like we're going to get network TV over the top, but supposedly we are going to get a different remote, a larger number of shows, and a whole lot of and universal search so that you can find what's on other places.
And what we're thinking we're going to hear is that Siri is going to be integrated with this. That we've got voice search, and that and by the way, having a different remote is going to make a world of difference, right?
Because that would be enough.
Everybody loses that damn remote. If you've got an Apple TV, the remote's too damn small. Everyone knows that. You can't find it. You put it down, 2 seconds later, it's disappeared.
But know it's under the bed, don't you? It's always under the bed.
It's always under the bed. And so we hear a little bit about maybe the remote might, so we've got voice, sensing. Maybe the remote itself is going to have sensors in it. Right?
I have to tell you that in my house, I am already having to say good morning to too many people. It's always, hello, Google. Hey, Alexa. Hello, Siri.
Okay, Francine.
I have to talk to everybody now. If I don't feel like, or if I confuse the words that you say to wake up each one.
Okay, Francine, back up and tell us what the heck you're doing in the morning.
Well, I'm just getting up, and Alexa is, what Alexa is. It's Amazon's little robotic speaker thingy that you can use to order.
It's the Amazon Echo, correct?
It's the Amazon Echo, and so you can say
$179 at Amazon.
So you can say, hey Alexa, send me some quart plastic bags, which we did today because we were out of them. And then you can say, okay, Google, tell me where my 9 o'clock appointment is.
Okay,
and then
Francine, back up just 1 second, because if I was going to, and by the way, I think we're about a minute away from ordering one ourselves in this household.
You don't have an Echo?
No, we don't have one.
Oh shit, you have got to get an Echo.
Yeah.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
Because it's the best one of these, I these crazy ass devices that I've ever tried and bought. You know, most of them, they just sit places.
People pretty much really like this.
The Echo is useful. It's a stunning departure from most version 1 new tech devices. This is really, really useful.
Okay, so Francine, I have a very specific question. So you said you asked Alexa to order you some plastic bags today. So this is what I want to know. Does Alexa then respond with, okay, I've got these options, and this is how much they cost, and this is when they can get delivered? Or
not for me, because I've ordered them before. And so Alexa says to me, okay, I'll send you some quart sandwich bags.
Your regular quart sandwich bags. We know what
you usually order.
Okay. So that's like a standing order for you. Okay, so what about if it was something?
It's not a standing order. It's just in my Amazon database.
Okay. So, but you've ordered it before is the key point.
Yes. Now I have tried ordering on Alexa some things that I haven't ordered before. Like I ordered.
This is what I want to know.
I ordered a dish sponge. Some kind of soap-filled, you know those things that have handles and they're dish sponges, and you pour the soap in.
Yes, they have no name except for dish sponge with a handle.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I said. Hey, Alexa, send me dish sponge with a handle. And 2 days, that was the experiment I did. And 2 days later, one arrived. But you can also say, Alexa, turn on my bedroom lights. And I have Hue lights, and so now Alexa can turn them on for me while I'm still in the kitchen. And the other thing that I can say to Alexa is play Beethoven's Fifth. Now, admittedly, I don't say stuff like that. My roommate does, because he cooks and he likes to play that kind of music while he cooks. But the point is, that is all the stuff. If you have Prime, that is all the type of stuff you can do with Alexa. And we're just beginning to really use it to, figure out what it can do. It can do more than I can.
So you're really using it to order things and to play music.
Play music, right? And also it'll look up recipes and to turn on to as a hub for my Internet of Things. Now I don't have many more Internet of Things than the Hue bulbs.
No, I would like recipe hunting because I do that exclusively on the iPad now. I'm thinking of actually getting rid of all my old cookbooks.
Oh, I've gotten rid of mine. The iPad replaced all my cookbooks years ago.
I just cannot crack open a book anymore. It's just it's cumbersome.
It's the one use that still exists for tablet computers, because everything else you can do on your phone and cast it to your TV set.
Yeah.
But the tablet.
Well, if you can see your TV set in your kitchen, and that's another.
Well, but most people can. So it's like if you put your recipe, if you have a recipe and it's on your tablet, you just take your tablet into the kitchen and prop it up and you can cook.
Okay, Mary,
or Max can cook.
Your significant other used to be at Amazon. Do you have I'm not sure I'm hearing you. Do you have a Amazon Echo?
I don't have an Amazon Echo. Do
you want an Amazon Echo?
I'll tell you generally, I don't like the idea of anything in the house recording what we're saying. Nest can do that. I know our
privacy.
Phones can do it. Yeah. It's a kind of a privacy thing. I think it's really creepy, and until we fix the issues around that, I'm
not privacy freak. Right?
So should people be afraid of Amazon
it depends.
Echo?
Here's the thing. I mean, all that data is being collected on us, right? And your home is supposed to be, it's really the last refuge of privacy, and I don't really want to get tools that kind of take that away.
Rebecca, you're nodding. Yes.
Not that into it.
Yeah, no, I agree, because while we perceive, or most people may perceive, devices like this as only listening to you when you ask it, in reality, it could be listening to what you're doing all day long and every move that you make. every sound that your house makes, even if you're not there. So they can learn a lot about you and your house and your lifestyle that is really creepy, actually. I mean, it's like classic surveillance stuff. I think we've talked about it before.
And we may not want to have Amazon Echo in our bedroom. And what if our bedroom is our main room?
Office or whatever. Well, there's another thing. So we just got a video camera system put around the house. Burning Man's a bit uncomfortable. What can I say?
And you don't think
with the sides of these glasses.
Mary's unburning man herself right now.
But wait a minute, you've got a video surveillance
but the thing is, we just got a video system, and so we have, a dozen cameras all around the house, right? And basically they can, come into my phone. They can come into Ed's phone. They can, do whatever. And
Mary, do you want to tell us what system you got, or is this something that you created?
No, we bought a system, and it comes with extra cameras and things. The cat's bugging me again. Hello, kitty.
Oh,
you know why? Because we
I
keep
thought
going
she was
away
going
and the
down
damn
to
cat.
pick up one of these cameras, and she comes up with the cat.
I can walk if you guys want to do the walking tour while on camera. I can do that. And I could show you the ones outside. I mean, basically, we put them in 6 spots around outside. There's various other ones at doorways and, key points. And it can text us, and we bought a battery system. So if somebody cuts the power here, we have like 24 hours of coverage. So the thing is that we did not buy a system. So it records to the server all the time when it picks up images, and then we just delete stuff. And we have a server that can put in months of data.
It's collecting images all the time, or motion?
It's motion. So if somebody comes to the door, it starts recording, and it can listen in, and we have to set up
when the cat walks by.
People. Yeah, if the cat walks by, it's going to take a little clip, and then we'll just, basically, if nothing happens, we'll just delete stuff. But if we need to go back and look through, then we will. But my point in comparing this to Echo or to other surveillance systems is we did not buy the thing that goes out of the house. All of our data is just collected here, and then we have an encrypted offsite server. And it's because we don't want, even people who come to visit, that's nobody's business. We have a Fourth Amendment right to assembly, and the whole idea that I'm if you guys come over and you're all being recorded as you approach the door and walk down the sidewalk and park your cars and license plate. I mean, I feel like this is kind of crazy.
You can never live in the UK. The UK has cameras all over the place now, and people love it. They just feel safer.
But let me ask you this, Mary. So someone comes to your house, they see these cameras all around, but then unless there's a sign in front of it that says, this isn't going anywhere, I've got your privacy protected, you actually have to tell them, hey, don't worry about that camera. I've got it all in-house. It's cool.
Actually,
do you want to have that conversation with everybody?
No, what she's saying is I can surveil you, but you can't surveil me. And see, there's something wrong with that, Mary. I love you, and I love you. But you can surveil everybody that comes up to your house, but nobody can surveil you. Here's my response to that.
Tons of people surveil me. I mean, I'm surveilled all the time. Are you kidding? There's cameras everywhere.
Well,
I mean, they're surveilling, but the problem is they're uploading the data to public servers, and government entities grab that data, and companies are using it. There's face recognition software being put against it. My point is that we're putting it on a private server, and we're deleting it regularly as we don't need it. And so, to me, that's an appropriate way to use the surveillance system.
Mary, I'm curious about this. If someone, there's lots of Airbnb situations, VRBO, and I would imagine for an absentee owner who's renting out a place that they might want to have some sort of security camera, something to let them know kind of what's going on, but at the same time you don't want people to think that you're recording everything that they're doing in your place. And I bring this up because I'm kind of interested in it at this point. What do you think people are doing in that space?
So the way the rental laws work, when you rent a place, it's effectively yours as if you own it, but it's for a term, right? So it could be month to month, it could be a year lease, it could be one night, and you have a right to privacy in your own space. So they would have to notify you and have to give you control over, basically not having video inside. I would have no problem, though, with having cameras outside for people who come to the door because it's a bit more public.
So you're saying...
What about people who have ADT or any of the other conventional security systems that come in?
Those services, those companies can, depending on the system you set up, they can watch inside. And I don't want to do that. So
that's what I mean.
And Comcast
we don't have cameras
right?
inside, and we don't have surveillance inside. So if you come in the house, then you're not surveilled. But if you approach anything in the perimeter or the backyard or the garage, anywhere, you will be surveilled. And if you come to the door, what we want to be able to do is, if someone comes to the door to get a package signed, just say, yeah, go ahead and leave it. You have permission. And then they don't know if we're inside or not. The problem is in Mountain View, we're 2 miles from Google and blah, 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 4 miles from Facebook and Apple and blah, blah, blah. Okay, the neighborhood's full of people and older homes, easy to break into, have money in stock. We are a total target. Every day, because I work at home, I get 2 or 3 knocks on the door or ringing the bell, whatever. And 80% of them, the police tell us, are fake. They're coming to collect personal data.
People are knocking on your door.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
They're coming to collect personal data and to see who's home. And if you open the door to kind of scan and see if it's worth breaking in. And there are break-ins around the neighborhood, and we're not interested. So we put in the system because all of our neighbors have been broken into.
Oh, wow.
I think we have not, and the 2 people who are across the street have not, because we're there all day because we work at home.
Well, that's interesting because in Phoenix they have daylight robberies where people come into your house, and when we're not, near all the money in stock, well, some of us are, but they'll come into your house while you are home. Yeah, and that has happened many times. Yeah. And so
during a dust storm.
Also, like our neighbors. So I was working on over in. There's kind of office space over there. And I was working literally 5 feet away from a year ago. 2 guys came down the walkway of our neighbor's house, right? We share a parallel walkway that is divided by a fence, but it's walkway on both sides. Came down the walkway, kicked in the door. We're in and out in 2 minutes. And they only took things that they could put on their bodies, right? So you don't take a laptop, you don't take anything bigger. You just put jewelry, cash, a new phone, like a new iPhone, anything newish that they could resell. But anything older, they just leave behind. They're not interested in computers. They're interested in small devices. A new camera, a new phone. So they grabbed $1,000 in cash, jewelry, cameras, phones, and walked out the door and just walked down the street. And they didn't look any different than anybody else walking down the street.
Maybe we all need to start outfitting our homes with safes like hotels have them, so that when we walk out the door, we just shove everything in the safe, boom, 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 and we're done.
You know what the police
and it's big enough to put all the laptops and all the, because it's your data. It would really suck if someone did grab the laptop, even if police say it's very unlikely. It's like you lose all your stuff, and granted a lot's in the cloud, but it's configured and I have a backup. But what if backup's right here? That's a really nice 3 terabyte drive, that's valuable. So what if they grab that?
The police have told people in our neighborhoods, don't hide things in your house. Leave certain things that you don't, that are easy to get rid of out, so that they do come in and do that rather than really searching and damaging things.
Well, so we have things in a safe, and the safe is hidden. Like, you couldn't find it. If you searched everywhere in this whole house, you would not find the safe. It simply isn't accessible from the house. So we've done brother did security for 4 years, and he was like, put the safe, I'm not going to say online like where, but
yeah, I was
going to say,
where's your safe?
She almost gave it away.
Yeah.
And basically,
but it's okay, we're all friends.
So it's easy for us to get to, but no one would ever think of it. And basically we put all the stuff in there that is, and frankly, it's bolted in, and it would take somebody days to get it out the way that it's installed. And so it's, so if they wanted to steal the safe, it would take a really long time. It's really hard to crack. It's like a special design, and it's located in a place that you can't get to from the house. They break in the house, it's like not going to happen.
But your average,
I'm kind of confused by that.
It's not after that anyway.
I know, but the thing is, the stuff in the safe is exactly the stuff the police told us. They came and interviewed me, and they're like, did you hear this thing? And I'm like, I was right outside the window, and I didn't even hear. I was working away. Yeah. I didn't even have headphones on, and here's this stuff happening.
It used to be that people would steal the silver, but no one has silver anymore.
Or if they do, no one wants it. Nobody wants my...
In the price of gold?
I like silver, but...
I can't get rid of my silver.
Your silver tableware?
I have a suggestion for you. If you have silverware that is not valuable because of what it looks like the thing, there's a place in Minnesota that will give you the current rate. You just mail it to them. They're very trustworthy. They will just mail you a check within 5 days of receiving the thing. And I've sent them all the old crap silver. I just mailed it to them, and they sent me a check for like $4,000. And they weigh it.
Can you put in the
You
chat
had $4,000 worth of silverware?
Well, it was all old crap.
I'm sure I do.
Why is it old crap? I love it.
Because it was really ugly and not usable. And I mean, it wasn't functionally usable.
It can't go into the dishwasher. No sterling silver can go into the dishwasher. So you're really stuck. Yeah. You end up never using it.
Well, you get it. I get it out for holidays and stuff, and I, whatever. But I basically wanted to keep the few things that were useful that I would use when we did a Thanksgiving or something. And then I wanted to get rid of everything else. And the thing is, it was selling on eBay for less than it was for, the weight of the value of the silver. And if you want, I'll go find the email from the people. It was a year and a half ago. And
Put it in the chat.
Okay, I'll try to find it while we're still chatting.
So you would not believe this, but we were talking about Apple. And then we diverged. So back to Apple for just a couple minutes, because we're getting to the hour mark. Rebecca, are you expecting anything in the Apple announcements that you're excited about?
I'm desperately in need of a new iPhone. I'm still held on to my 4S for all these years, and it's actually in the last 2 weeks the whole conspiracy is taking effect because voice and text message has quit working on me. So I cannot receive or make any phone call or text message anymore.
Well, that shouldn't bother you.
Oh, no.
That shouldn't bother me at all.
Before the show, Rebecca says to me, Tina, did you check out the work I did on our YouTube page? And by the way, we actually have a YouTube page that we're developing. And I said, no, why didn't you let me know? She goes, well, I texted you, but my text isn't working, I don't think. So this really is a problem. So Rebecca, you could be in line for the 6S or 6S Plus. Which one are you going to get?
The Plus, I think, is going to be a little bit too big for me for everyday use. So a 6 is great. I'm just hoping
Francine, those are your credit cards.
Oh, okay.
The other way.
Are you telling me I need the 6 Plus?
Look at me. I can't do this.
I'm looking in the mirror.
Do it the opposite way that you think you're supposed to go. Okay.
I'm going to get a 6S.
Wait, Francine, hang on just 1 second, Rebecca. I'm very curious. Francine, you have a Visa card. I don't really want you to show it because it's got your numbers on it, but you've got a Visa card. I think it's got your picture on it.
It does. I went to the Grace Hopper conference, and there was a guy there at the Reuters booth called Showtunes, Toons. And he made cartoons of people who came to the Reuters booth. So he made this really great caricature of me.
Yeah, it is a great one.
I loved it. And so I used it as an avatar. And one day I was fooling around on my Wells Fargo bank account site, and it said, create your own debit card. And it said, pick from these images of, it always is sea or grass or, all that stuff.
I had no idea that you could do that with
upload your own image. And I was like, damn.
That's fun.
I uploaded his caricature and nobody, every time I pull that card out, somebody says something.
Can you show it to us by putting your finger over the numbers?
You won't see the numbers.
You can see the numbers. We can see the numbers.
Wow, that is really cool.
Isn't that great?
Isn't that terrific?
Okay.
So the thing about Apple, I am an Android person. I have had 20 Android phones since a year before Android went out on the market, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to get a 6S. You know why? Yes, shocking. Even though we do all Android programming
you
here.
heard it here.
I know.
Breaking news.
But the thing is that I want to try it because I haven't, and I've been using my iPad for all my testing and development for iOS, and I want to try the phone thing. But the other piece is Apple in the last 6 months has gone way out front in terms of privacy around your data, and they're competing with Google on it. It's a point of competition, and I was like, well, why not? Let me just give it a try, and we'll see. But basically, so I'll move all my data there and see what happens. And I get that they're not super into privacy. Really, this is a business decision, but still, if they're going to compete on privacy and be out front about it, I'd like to support it.
All right.
And iOS 9 is going to have ad blockers, and this is driving my ad tech company crazy. Because ad blockers are the newest thing.
The cat says,
okay, so
is it time for me to get a dog?
Hey, no. So we've got a 6 Plus. We're going to have a 6S.
Yeah, 6S. I need it. I hope they upgrade the camera even more because my mom had her Samsung.
They have.
I didn't even realize my mom had gotten a Samsung until we went to Napa recently, and she was taking the most beautiful photos on that Samsung.
Yeah. Okay, when your mom is outdoing you technologically, this is a problem. You gotta fix that.
So and by comparison, the I can't remember what the camera rate is, but it was so much better than Apple, even the 6 Plus. And I just hope they upgrade that, because if I'm going to upgrade to a camera or a new phone, I'm going to hold on to that thing for forever, clearly.
But it's not a megapixels thing, it's a software thing, because Apple has just never been, no matter how many megapixels it puts in its cameras, it just has never been good at taking low light pictures, and I gather that's where the Samsung is better.
It's doing, it is. It does a great job. They're so beautiful. They look like professional photography photos. I mean, you look at them and it's like she had a SLR camera, and it's amazing.
And since it's only your mom, it couldn't be her talent.
Well, it
has to be.
She might. I don't know. She might have some photo taking talent.
And Mary, what you're going for? Did you tell us what size?
So I'm going to do the 6S, not the Plus.
Because your eyes aren't bad enough yet.
I think the 6S is still big. I mean, it's a good sized phone, and part of it is my hand isn't that big. I know it's like hard to tell, but I got
my small hands too.
Bohemian hands, my mother's from Bohemia, and what can I say? Prior to the Kaiser ruling in, everyone had little hands, and I cannot hold those freaking 6S Plus, enormous, exactly, or the I had a Nexus 6.
It takes a little bit of maneuvering, a little bit, but you get used to it.
The Nexus 6 is huge, though.
The Nexus 6 is huge. The Samsung, the bigger Samsungs are enormous. I had one of those for a little while. I mean, it's just, so big, and I need to be able to do stuff without having the phone fly out of my hand and wreck like a $700 phone. I cannot.
I recommend a case.
Oh. And I always buy insurance, which is nice because for $7 a month, and I've had to use it a few times, so they're totally losing money on me. But it's mainly because the phones are so darn big and they fly out of the hand, and that's that. And the whole thing's just cracked. And then when you go and you ask, can I get a new screen? They're like, oh no, that's way too nice and new of a phone to get a new screen. I'm like, what are you here for?
Okay,
Like, you're a
here's
here's
the really girly part now. What color are you gonna get?
Oh, I don't know. Frankly, I don't care because I'm getting a giant case around it. I'm going to get a big bumper.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
So you can get whatever you want.
Here's the kind of case that I got, and you still can see the color because it's clear, and
So
it's slim. It's quite slim. It's not one of those, like mega cases. No, but and I actually wanted a different color, but I don't know. Steve said we're getting them, and we're getting them today, and this is the only one they have. So
yeah, no, I need to get the durable, life-proof, total waterproof everything.
Oh yeah, because like Rebecca goes and windsurfs with hers and kite sails and whatever
you can see it better.
I'll be in dirt and sand and water and on race boats and race committee or whatever it is that I'm doing. I have to have it.
So you do not care about the color. You're going to get whatever you can get first.
Yeah, I mean, I might care a little bit if I had a choice, but you get in the line, and at the end of the day, when you get your choice, they're like, "Oh, we're out of this," and it's like, "Okay, well, I'll take the other one." And that's usually what happens.
We're hearing that they're going to introduce a new color called rose gold, which is a pinky gold.
I love rose gold.
Yeah.
That'll look really great in my case.
So Mary, you have to get rose gold.
So I'll get rose gold. I have a bunch of jewelry that's rose gold, and I love rose gold. So yes,
rose gold is in. For many years it was out because it was grandmother jewelry, but now it's back in.
And Cartier makes a lot of really nice. Is this terrible? God, I sound like such a snob. Cartier makes beautiful rose gold stuff, and I love it. I love it. It's gorgeous.
Okay, so Apple, so phones. This is fall. This is when Apple comes out with their phones. So they've got the phones. Yes, the camera is going to be improved.
The big mother iPad.
Big iPad?
The big mother iPad, the iPad Pro.
Oh.
The 12.5-inch screen.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Wow, 12.5. That's practically a laptop. And
exactly, that's the goal. There's also a rumor that there might be a stylus with it.
Huh.
So I have a feeling that this is the competitor to the Microsoft Surface.
Yeah, and then you sync it to Mary was saying. You sync it to that. You have
I do this.
Yeah, exactly. You sync it through that.
So I've got these two things, and that's my little iPad thing. And if I want a bigger screen, I just go to the MacBook Pro, right? But a 12.5-inch iPad, that's tempting.
Well, it would be tempting to me, except I just had to buy a new iPad because my iPad quit. So I have a fairly new iPad 2.
So you're not upgrading.
I'm not going to upgrade iPads. I don't use my iPad very much.
Really?
I use my phone a lot because I did get the big screen and I can read on it and I can watch video on it. So I do a lot more.
Do you really like to watch video on the phone screen?
Let me just say that if a video presents itself while I am in a place where all I have with me is my phone, I can watch it on my phone and will.
Are you talking about short videos, like 2-minute videos, or are you talking about an hour video?
I'm talking about, for argument's sake, the Gillmor gang.
Uh-huh.
However long the Gillmor gang is, however long Twit is.
That's usually an hour to an hour.
However long, exactly. So there you are. I mean, these big, phones are really, really good for watching things on.
Yeah.
And I don't mind. And so I hardly ever haul out my iPad. In fact, if I want something bigger, I just watch on my laptop.
Well, you know, I honestly, I don't leave the house. It would be really, really rare that I would leave the house without my large iPad in my bag and my phone. I don't know, because if I'm stuck somewhere, if I'm waiting for my kid and I have to read for a while, I want to read on my iPad. If I wanted, I don't know, there's just stuff sometimes that I want to do when I'm out, and I don't always like doing it on my phone. But you know, if I'm going to go out for the evening or something, probably not taking the big iPad.
I haven't taken my iPad out of the house in a year since I got the phone.
Since you got the new, why did you get the new iPad then?
Because every once in a while I like to have the iPad. I'll tell you what I use the iPad for, and this is probably TMI.
Uh-oh.
But when I take a bath, I put the iPad in the bathroom, and then I can watch videos while I'm in the bathtub on the iPad.
Well, now why don't you do that? Wouldn't it be easier to do that with your laptop, because you can prop it open and it's just sort of like...
I prop up my iPad, and I don't want my laptop anywhere near, water.
Okay.
Or I just don't. That's just my habit. I mean, is everything I do reasonable?
Rebecca.
Absolutely. Only a small percentage of things that I do could be labeled as reasonable.
Rebecca, do you have a bathroom device?
My place is so small, and my bathroom is about 2 by 2 feet. I do not have space for a bathtub. I have a shower, thankfully. But you don't really want to spend a lot of time in there.
We won't have a Robert Scoble moment then with you. With something in the shower.
See, you guys in San Francisco, you're living like it's Europe.
Yeah. I really miss having a bathtub, and I, I'd love to just soak and relax, but it's just too small here. And one day when I am tired of the city, I'll definitely get a place.
Next place. Well,
You should float. You should go to a float pod place. I'll find out if they have one in San Francisco. I've been
pay to float.
It's really reasonably priced in San Francisco is Kabuki. The Kabuki bathtubs. They're very clean, very nice, and very reasonably priced. And you can go do a soak for an hour, and you just schedule it, and it's well worth. It's really good.
I hear that's lovely. Yeah. A friend of ours up in Woodstock has this fabulous tub. I think it's a Japanese type of tub.
Japanese soaking tub.
And it's sort of an upright thing, right?
Yeah.
It's just kind of big enough for you, and a little seat in there, and you get in there, and the water. The water comes up like this, and it's lovely. That's what I would love. I think that's so appropriate for like a small space. It doesn't take up much space at all. You have to have some sort of little stairs though to get up and into it. Right. But those are fabulous.
Oh yeah, when I lived in the Gillmor with my husband, the radiologist, as opposed to my other husbands who were other things, he had a Japanese soaking tub. And since I was the person who moved in, I got to avail myself of the Japanese soaking tub. But you can just about get 2 people in it. It's, but it's really wonderful.
I think some of the tubs that are made for older people who don't want to slip and fall or get down too low, those the ones with the door, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm, I do. I
those
see them on television.
Almost kind of like that, in that they're a little more vertical, and then they've got the door. I don't know. Maybe that's the way I'll go.
How do they keep the water in with the door?
So the other way, the door has seals, and it's pressured so that when the weight of the water hits it, it keeps the seals in place. But obviously it can leak if the seals degrade over time. I have a friend in San Francisco who he has a house in kind of near City College, and he put one in, and all the bathrooms are really small, like what Rebecca's describing. So what he did was he took the shower area and had it built up with, and covered over and tiled and everything, and then basically made steps. So you walk outside the tub and you walk up, 3 steps, very narrow, obviously not to code, but that wasn't the point. Put in a little handle, just step up in, and then you step down in, and you can either take a shower or fill the tub. And then you sit in it. It has a great big bench. So it took up a large shower stall space, which was probably like 48 by 36. And then the steps are outside. And then it was amazing actually, because of the extra space, he got a sink that was like this big around. And it's the guest bathroom. So for the most part, people don't mind washing their hands in there. And then a very micro toilet from Japan. And he made the
half-assed
work, but he doesn't have
say that again.
A micro toilet from Japan,
half-assed toilet.
A half-assed toilet.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if I could deal with a micro toilet.
Yeah,
well,
that's
the
a synonym
sink is
for
full size, but everything else is little, and it actually fits in the corner, and so does the sink. So the toilet comes out diagonally from the thing, so you have room to get to the steps. And then the sink is also a triangle sink with this tiny little round thing. So he made it work. I'm just saying it could have. You could
do it. You could do it. This is what I'm going to do.
You got to be creative.
Aren't we fabulous? We can go from talking about Google and Apple and Burning Man to half-assed toilets. Okay.
And that is it's because we're women. We have, look at the large
can do it all.
Interests we have.
All right, ladies, guess what? I've got another show to get to.
Right.
We've got the Gillmor gang coming up at 1 o'clock.
The boys are coming.
The boys are coming. Woo! Okay, well, this was just a fabulously fun show. I enjoy it every single week that we do this. By the way, I think, what's next week? Tell me the date. Okay, not next week.
I think it's the 10th. I think the 10th is...
What's the week after that?
The 17th?
The 17th.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, the week of the 21st, I think it would be Thursday the 21st, Friday the 22nd. I think we're not going to have a show that week.
Really?
So, FYI. Okay. All right, ladies. Any last thoughts? Anything that we have to just talk about for a sec? No?
It's time to get out the dog.
Time to let the
When
dog.
Mary starts putting up the cats,
This
then
is
I feel really bad and I want to get out
let the dogs out, Francine. This is their time. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, they're in the bedroom. It's okay. You're signing off.
The cat was pawing at me. I finally just gave in. The problem is we go away and he gets super clingy when we come back, and we just got back. So here we are, with the cat, his clingy ways.
All right. Well, I thought I was going to get to sing "Who Let the Dogs Out" because I thought Francine was going to let the dogs out. Okay. All right. So we'll all be watching Apple on. Is that Tuesday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tuesday. What's the timing? 10 o'clock.
It's usually 10 o'clock.
It's usually 10 o'clock
Pacific. Yeah.
Where are they doing it from?
Good question. I don't.
Last
think I
time
know
they were
that.
down the peninsula. They're probably in San Francisco this time. I'm betting, but I don't know. We should know these things. Okay. Anyway,
Well, I'm not going, so obviously.
10
I don't
o'clock.
know.
Go find it. You can watch it. I'm sure they're streaming it live.
They'll stream it on your Apple TV.
Stream it live. Read the live blog streaming. It'll be fun. We'll all learn something at the same time, and then we'll all talk about it.
And if we're lucky, someone will have already gotten one.
Gotten what?
Well, I don't know. Whatever.
One of us.
Oh,
strikes our fancy.
You mean by our
Apple is
next
like-
show,
Apple's
someone's
like
going to have their new phone or new big ass iPad?
Yeah, it's like the tech trunk show, where they bring out all the stuff and you figure out how you're going to spend your disposable income until the end of this year.
I'm just really hopeful that the Apple TV is really finally redone, because it's time. It's been rumored to be happening. We don't know for sure, but we think so, and hopefully it's a big improvement. And we love ours. we have a few, and they work great. So, but
okay. On The Verge, I just want to say on The Verge article about what to expect from the iPhone 6s.
Yes.
Better camera.
Yes. Better camera.
They say that that's coming. So 12 megapixel rear camera rather than 8, and supposed to be able to shoot 4K video.
Oh, so, that's right, 4K video. Something that you then have to get another television set.
You two are in for a good round right now.
I'm excited.
A nice upgrade. Okay, ladies. So let's let me say. Let me. I've got to say my regular stuff. Okay. Thank you to Ustream. We use Ustream to stream live and record G3 and the Gillmor gang every week that we do. And we thank you to NewTek and their TriCaster. We love it, we use it, and we encourage you to think about NewTek if you are in the business of wanting to do a show like this or something like this. So please give NewTek a thought. Okay. Thank you to Francine Hardaway, Rebecca Woodcock, and Mary Hodder. Thanks for being here. And let's get our logo ready, and we'll say till next time, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, you probably have to